Today we are going to take a look at Agi, a U20 forward from England who currently plays for Manchester City and participates in Blue Lock during the Neo Egoist League. Agi is tall with a dark complexion and black shoulder-length braided hair, white circular eyes and short thin eyebrows. Agi debuted for the first time in Chapter 173 and Chapter 174 when Chris Prince talked to Nagi. Nagi mentioned that all he wants to do is to beat Izagi, as he is his main rival and therefore wants to improve, and Prince asks Nagi how he imagines doing so, which once again shows Nagi's biggest weakness as a player, his creativity and imagination. Nagi so far was given the image of a goal from the passes he received from players like Reo and Izagi, and due to his genius level reactions, Nagi was able to create special moments. But in general, Nagi always depended on others, which would also describe the level of his skill during a match. The better Nagi's partner, the better his performance will be, as Nagi plays an extremely passive football style that relies on others. So Agi heard about Nagi's problem and therefore decided to join the conversation and offer Nagi some help, as Nagi seems to be a very interesting project in the eyes of Agi. And this is also the moment where we get to know Agi's famous nickname, the Doctor. And Agi has this nickname due to the fact that he is a player who is able to analyze the weaknesses of other talents, give them a diagnosis and work on their problems to improve their skills. And Agi first comes up with a trap that would help Nagi to reset the game to zero, no matter which situation. This step is supposed to help Nagi to be able to reset the flow of the game and from there on to create the football he wants to play. Furthermore, Agi explained to Nagi that there are two types of annoyance. Passive annoyance, when there is something that you have to do but don't want to do, and active annoyance, when there is something you just thought of that you really want to do. And Agi wants Nagi to implement and feel this feeling of active annoyance, as it is the seed of an ideal of an imagination Seishiro needs to create plays. And this fact actually for the first time helped Nagi to create a play fully by himself, as he passed the ball to Agi, who was able to pass it back with a pretty high kick, so Nagi could trap the ball precisely and go for a juggling shot, which unfortunately for Nagi got blocked by Yukimiya. And we could instantly see Agi giving Nagi a diagnosis, or better say some feedback, about what he did wrong. And Agi told him that Nagi was too focused on his image, which is the reason why he didn't act properly on it. For example, although his finishing was an interesting idea, his shot could have quickened by another tempo if Nagi improved his pass. So what Agi is basically teaching Nagi are the basics of football. Nagi never really played or focused on football before, which is the reason why he's struggling so much to do plays on his own, without relying on others, and with Agi's help, who is teaching him the basics and understanding of football and how he needs to move on the field, Nagi will be able to learn to not just be the chess piece that gets used, he will learn to be the player that uses the pieces to win the game. Alright, let's talk about Agi and his personal skills and abilities as a player, besides being a great coach one day. Agi is a player that is able to jump super high like Ryu or Kwon due to his great physique and therefore wins most of the aerial battles. Furthermore, Agi is able to attract 2 or more players to himself and is pretty difficult to stop. Agi also has great technique, which makes him not the most clinical goal scorer, but a player that is able to assist his teammates with great passes and traps whenever they need one. In English football history, there has been one striker that was very similar to Agi in Blue Lock, Emil Heskey. Heskey was a player with a very strong physique, and although Heskey scored some goals, he was much more known as a player who assisted his teammates, like Michael Owen, with great passes. And Agi is very similar to Heskey, just with the attitude that he for sure is going to be a coach one day. And although Agi wasn't able to score goals by himself in the match against Basel Munich, he for sure had his impact on Nagi, as he helped Nagi to understand the basics of it. He basically taught Nagi how to walk, kinda like Sensei Bizo taught Naruto how to control his chakra, which are the basics. So do I think that Agi will come back in the future? For sure. Once Blue Lock is officially over and once the World Cup arc will start, we will definitely see Agi besides Chris Prince and Adam Blake in Team England, and it will be exciting to see how Nagi will deal with Agi once they meet up again, but this time as enemies. Alright guys, what do you think about Agi? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, stay safe and have a nice day.